Hi, Sterling Allen here. We are in Brazil, Porto Alegre, and it's the 14th International Conference on 14th International Forum on Free Software, and they've invited me to. They paid for my trip down here to speak about free energy, and we're going to go in and check out the facility. They've got a big Tesla coil and a Bedini coil. Some pretty cool stuff going on. Just going to give you a little tour. Anyway, there's going to be 10,000 people here in the 4 days. So here we go. When we came in this morning, this place was just packed, where people sign in. And here's the funny thing. Here's where I went to register as a speaker, get my name tag. They had 4 people here, the same people you see working there, and a line about 12 people long. These are speakers. This is a speaker sign-up place. Can you imagine, at most events that we're used to going to, you'd see that kind of a line for the attendees and not for the presenters checking in. So that was pretty cool. Here we are in the booth area. I should mention that this conference is actually sponsored by the Brazilian government and cover a lot of the expenses of the event, including bringing in speakers. And so there's a level of modicum of interest in exotic technologies that they would allow myself and one of the organizers who invited me to come is right over here at his booth. He's got a Bedini coil. There's a group of people around watching his little. That's Thomas Saúres. There he is.
Todos no norte. Norte virado para fora. E aí quando a bobina liga, ela fica norte também. E aí ela
got a Kepi motor here.
Dá o balanço para a criança.
Fan.
É infinito. Não, não é infinito. Ele pega lá daquela fonte um pouquinho de amperes para poder tocar a roda.
Só para dar o primeiro peteleco?
Não, para dar os petelecos cada vez. Mas se for não, vai fazer o type, por exemplo.
We'll come back in a minute.
O sol vai te dar o peteleco. O que é produzir pulsos.
This is a Kepi kit right here. Kepi motor kit.
São os mesmos pulsos que estão aqui, por exemplo. Faz esse bulbo acender.
Schoolgirl motor.
Esse bulbo precisa 80 volts, 90 volts para poder ligar. Esse bulbo aqui, de neon, é o mesmo que está aqui. Ó. Como é que esse bulbo liga? Se aqui embaixo só tem uma bateria de 9 volts. Se precisa 90 volts para ligar aqui, como é que liga? Porque quando o ímã está nessa posição, o campo magnético é máximo. Mas quando o ímã está nessa posição, o campo magnético é mínimo. Então a bobina acha que o ímã
Thomas has been working in this area on this conference from the beginning. He started in the IT area, and he's been, there's a Tesla coil right there, check it out. He's been working on this stuff full time for a couple of years. Very dedicated, dropped everything to help introduce free energy technologies, talking to governments and stuff. There's a little Faraday cage they get inside of. Some kind of a control system here. Okay, we're going to do a quick interview here with Thomas Soares, and we'll get a pronunciation of his name from him. How do you pronounce your last name?
Thomas Chepke Soares.
Okay.
Okay.
And what are you doing here at this conference?
I am helping to organize this forum that is, in my point of view, the biggest forum about free software in the world.
Free software.
Free software is a kind of way to deal with technology. Everyone knows everything all the time, so the technology can spread. We do not have secrets. We are against patents. We have another kind of view of copyright interests. So, in this way, technology spreads like the gossips, you know, as a kind of mimetic movement. and free software allows everyone to change the software and get better software and spread good ideas.
Now there's 10,000 people at this event through the 4 days, and they all pretty much agree with that philosophy.
Yes, pretty much. There is the open source people that are more inclined to the economic aspects of free software, and then there is the other kind of people more interested in the philosophy of the movement. But everyone agrees that we have to have access to the technology from the source code in a such way that everyone can reproduce and get the technology better.
Now, why are you having some free energy technology at a software conference?
Because my belief is that our community of free software people can build a background, a foreground to the energetic movement, to the energetic revolution to spread here in Brazil, in the world. I believe very much in the works of Brian O'Leary in his book, The Structure of Energetic Revolution.
He lived in Ecuador before he passed away last year?
Yes, he lived in Ecuador, yes.
Yeah. And what about the movement in general, the free software movement? How big is it internationally?
Is much bigger than the people believe, because, for instance, pretty much 80% of all the infrastructure of the internet is running in free software.
80%?
80% of all the web servers in the world are running Apache. Apache is a web server, and he is a free software. It is a free software. And so a lot of banks here in Brazil are using free software. So even if you are doing home banking using Windows, you are using free software indirectly. So free software is much bigger than the regular media wants us to know.
What are your thoughts about free energy in general?
Free energy in general is the way from where you can start to build a more just society. We can lower the price of the food, of the logistics, and every aspect of human activities can be beneficial by the energy cheaper. We still need to pay for the machine, to build the machine, but after that, the zero-point field can provide us with energy forever.
Thank you. Anything you want to add before I go do a close-up of that Tesla coil behind you?
Please help us asking for this kind of information to spread. Ask your representatives, your government, place messages in the forums and Facebook and things like that to spread this meme. And the meme is, there is free energy for all of us in the zero-point field or quantum vacuum fluctuations. We just need to know how to tap it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Sterling Allen here at the 14th International Forum of Free Software, where we have a Tesla coil being demonstrated. We're going to get a little introduction of how the Tesla coil works from these two gentlemen here who are students.
Hello guys, I'm Gregory and I am the creator of Big Tesla Coil. I'm studying here in Brazil, electrical engineering.
We are electrical engineers. I am John from here too, and I am help this guy. That's right.
All right. Well, tell us how this works.
Yeah, I'll try to explain how it works. So we start with the mains voltage that comes here to a boost. The equipment can boost the energy. It gets 200 volts from the mains and turn it to 600 voltage DC. This is a controlled power supply, so I can control the output voltage and the Tesla coil power. So its power, you can show it here, goes in the wire. Here I have some power control, breakers, and this is the mains controller that controls the frequency and the output power of this part. So the output voltage from this unit go to the Tesla coil with this yellow cable. So here I have the signals and the mains power at 600 DC voltage.
Okay.
Here I have an inverter that gets the 600 voltage and make it 1000 volts with 1000 amps. That's a very high amperage. Modulated at 45 kilohertz.
Okay.
So here I get the voltage of the mains, that is AC, convert it to DC, and here I make it DC AC again.
Okay.
So this output power that now is AC at a higher frequency drives this primary coil, that is this copper wire.
This is the primary coil.
It's a primary coil that's a copper, I don't know how to say.
Copper coil?
Copper coil, okay. That induces the magnetic field on the secondary coil that have much more turns.
And this is a secondary coil?
Yeah, it have 3,000 turns.
3,000 turns of copper. What
copper.
gauge of wire is that?
This is 26. Is wire copper 26 AWG. Here I have a storage.
It's about 32 gauge, just guessing that we're used to, terminology we're used to using.
And here I have the storage capacitor. This capacitors storage.
Take that back, 23 gauge, 24 gauge range.
Here I have maybe 25 picofarads of energy storage that stores the output voltage.
Okay.
Here we can generate some voltage that is close to 1 million volts.
Okay.
And it creates some sparks that go out and touch the Faraday cage, where you can stay inside with security.
I noticed that you've got little wire meshing going around that's all connected electrically.
Yeah, this is a ground mesh.
Ground mesh?
That help us to get a better ground. We need to stay much more close we can to the zero voltage.
Right.
So the mesh help us to get a zero voltage ground. Because this is so much output power that can rise the voltage of the ground to some maybe 1000 volts on the mains ground.
And this is just regular duct work?
Yeah.
Tubing?
Yeah, for air conditioner.
Okay, air conditioning. And
here's the secondary ground that goes to the mesh.
Okay.
This make a closed loop when the spark can touch the mesh and return to the secondary coil.
Okay.
And make this loop. That's right.
You've got a lot of people that are going to be walking around here. What kind of chances would they have that the stray volt might come out and hit one of them?
Oh, the chance is very little. It no exists. You have this copper wire that make the spark come from here. It's break the air, the dielectric voltage of the air, and the spark will come outside here.
Okay. So the spark's going to be emitting from that wire there for the most part.
Yeah.
But not exclusively?
Not exclusively. It can have a chance to get from another place, but...
What's this right up here where you've got some kind of
we use this what's the name?
A copper wire?
It's a hook. A hook to fix the secondary to not balance so much when we go to outside. So we put some wires to the ground to fix.
For stabilizing?
Yeah, stabilizing. Okay, this is the word. Yeah.
And it's insulated from here through this electrical tape?
Yeah, it's this electrical tape that insulates this wood that supports the storage capacitors and the hook.
How much money did it take to build this apparatus?
Man, I don't have idea. so much. 10,000 maybe 20, because it's a lot of equipment that I need to buy to make measurements and oscilloscopes. We burn a lot of things.
Is this your name, Gregory?
Yeah, my name Gregory Frison Gusberti.
And where can people find you online?
The people can find me on YouTube. Search for Tesla Coil, musical Tesla Coil, or Gregory.
In Brazil?
Or in a Facebook page that is Tesla Coil. You can search me and talk to me. I can explain better how it works.
Now, you're a student right now?
Yeah.
Is this part of your studies?
No.
This is just a hobby?
Yeah, a hobby.
An expensive hobby?
Yeah, a very expensive hobby.
Where do you see this taking you?
I don't understand.
What are you going to do with this? I mean, is this going to become part of your career? Is this going
Yeah, I think so. I think that I want to work on high power circuits and high voltage. It's a very high learning
for learning about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent for learn and know more about that power.
You too?
I just help him because I don't have so much money and how you can say
acknowledgement.
Knowledge.
Acknowledge. Yeah. He's getting more inside this, but I am for more time here, working on high power circuits.
Well, thank you for the interview. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
And we'll come back when you guys do your demonstration in a little while.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. We're coming back from the Tesla Coil, and it looks like there's quite an assembly of people over here listening to Thomas talk about his Patini schoolgirl system and other circuits that he has on display there. Not really focusing on that. Sorry about that. You've got the Linux bird, penguin. Here's a little information booth on the way to Hall 40, where I'm speaking tomorrow.
Which argues that the NSA itself has been heavily involved in the design of the Google data center.
Here's a little map of the venue. That's where the Tesla Coil is, right there. The Bedini is over here. And my lecture tomorrow is in 4ET over here. That's where I was just at. Very interesting lecture about monopolization, NSA, and all that kind of stuff. Still got a good crowd around him over there. The Bedini wheel. His office is just on the other side there. He's one of the coordinators of this event. That about 20% of the people at this conference are outside of Brazil. Got quite a few more people around the Tesla Coil here. I don't know if they've got something running yet, or a good crowd around here.
para de bobina teste. O cara tá na gaiola de faro ali lá, ó. O barulho é muito louco.
Tesla coil demonstration is on pause. They're going to start it up again in a few minutes. They're going to let me go inside the cage and shoot the film from inside there. So that ought to be quite interesting. It said something about me being the first that they're going to let do that from the outside. They're getting everything ready to go here. So they'll be turning it on here in a minute. Not too many people around because they haven't been doing a demo for quite a while. But that status will change once they turn this thing on. They just let me inside the cage here. We got all these people from around. I'm the demo man.
You can go out of the cage
while it's on.
All the time stay here, and we'll be there in 25 seconds and much more with that.
Okay.
After this, we will turn off and we'll go out. That's all right?
Okay. So, but don't turn it on. Don't open the door while it's on.
All the time you stay here.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Okay.
We will turn it on for 30 seconds, and we will advise you when you can go out. Okay?
Not until.
No.
Right.
Is this what you want?
Yep.
posição, que o magnético é mínimo. Então a bobina acha que
Thomas has been working in this area on this conference from the beginning. He started in the IT area, and he's been, there's a Tesla coil right there, check it out. He's been working on this stuff full time for a couple of years. Very dedicated, dropped everything to help introduce free energy technologies, talking to governments and stuff. There's a little Faraday cage they get inside of. Some kind of a control system here. Okay, we're going to do a quick interview here with Thomas Soares and a little... that's Thomas Soares. There he is.
Todos no norte. Norte virado para fora. E aí quando a bobina liga, ela fica norte também. E aí
Got a Kepi motor here.
Dá o balanço para a criança.
Okay.
É infinito. Não, não é infinito. Ele pega lá daquela fonte um pouquinho de amperes para poder tocar a roda.
Só para dar o primeiro peteleco?
Não, para dar os petelecos cada vez. Mas se for não, por exemplo, voltaico, por exemplo,
We'll come back in a minute.
o sol vai te dar o peteleco para cima. O que quer é produzir
So
pulsos.
this is a Kepi kit right here. Kepi motor kit.
São os mesmos pulsos que estão aqui, por exemplo. Faz esse bulbo acender.
Schoolgirl motor.
Esse bulbo precisa 80 volts, 90 volts para poder ligar. Esse bulbo aqui, de neon, é o mesmo que está aqui. Ó. Como é que esse bulbo liga? Se aqui embaixo só tem a bateria de 9 volts.
Get a pronunciation of his name from him. How do you pronounce your last name?
Thomas Chepke Soares.
Okay.
Okay.
And what are you doing here at this conference?
I am helping to organize this forum. That is, in my point of view, the biggest forum about free software in the world.
Free software.
Free software is a kind of way to deal with technology. Everyone knows everything all the time, so the technology can spread. We do not have secrets. We are against patents. We have another kind of view of copyright interests. So, in this way, technology spreads like the gossips, you know, as a kind of mimetic movement. And free software allows everyone to change the software and get better software.
Your sign-up place, can you imagine at most events that we're used to going to, you'd see that kind of a line for the attendees and not for the presenters checking in, so that was pretty cool. Here we are in the booth area. I should mention that this conference is actually sponsored by the Brazilian government and cover a lot of the expenses of the event, including bringing in speakers. And so there's a level of modicum of interest in exotic technologies that they would allow myself and one of the organizers who invited me to come is right over here at his booth. He's got a Bedini coil. There's a group of people around watching his little... Hi, Sterling Allen here. We are in Brazil, Porto Alegre, and it's the 14th International Conference on 14th International Forum on Free Software. And they've invited me to, they paid for my trip down here to speak about free energy. And we're going to go in and check out the facility. They've got a big Tesla coil and a Bedini coil. Some pretty cool stuff going on. Just going to give you a little tour. Anyway, there's going to be 10,000 people here in the 4 days. So here we go. When we came in this morning, this place was just packed where people sign in. And here's the funny thing. Here's where I went to register as a speaker, get my name tag. They had 4 people here, the same people you see working there, and a line about 12 people long. These are speakers. This is a speaker.